Welcome students to our today's lesson. Today under electrical installation 2, we are going to study about tariffs. So what is a tariff? A tariff is the rate at which electrical energy is supplied to a consumer. A tariff is the rate at which electrical energy is supplied to a consumer. And what do you mean by electrical energy being supplied to a consumer? It means that if we compare a town and a village, if you compare the rate at which electrical energy has been supplied to a town and the rate at which electrical energy has been supplied to a village, you will note that there is a greater difference. So when it comes to the town, you find that the rate of electrical supply in a town is, there is high rate of in a town, there is a high rate of electrical supply, while in a village, there is a low rate. There is a low rate of electrical supply. So basically, that is what it means by a tariff. And we have several desirable characteristics of a tariff. What are the characteristics of a tariff? The characteristics of a tariff, we may begin with the first one. It should be simple. A tariff should be simple. It should not be complicated. Remember, once your tariff is complicated or the electrical supply is complicated to the consumers will also start complaining about your tariff. The others will start saying that they do not get the rate at which they are being charged after the consumption of power and the rest. Others will start saying that they rather go to other sources of or other types of energy rather than using electricity. So basically here we are talking about electricity. So your tariff or the source of electricity should be a little bit simple. The other one is fair. A tariff should be fair in this month. If your tariff is very expensive, let's say for example the energy meter that you normally use at home, if you find that in some situations you opt to think that you never consumed a lot of energy, and once you come to look at the units that have been counted into the meter are so high, you will discover that this particular tariff is not good for you. So you will start questioning yourself, why is it that the units are so many and yet you did not consume a lot of energy? So the tariff should be fair. So the units that you have consumed should be the same units that tally in the electricity tariff. So that's what it means by a fair tariff. The other type of a characteristic of a tariff is it should be a good tariff should be attractive. So what does it mean by attractive? It means that once the customers get satisfied about your tariff and discover that you are so fair about the consumption of the power, they will start convincing the other customers and explaining to them how good your tariff is. So a good tariff should be very attractive. So it will just sell itself to the other consumers, and the other consumers will be able to get into your tariff. So it should be attractive. The other one is should be of it should be of reasonable profit. What does it mean by a reasonable profit? So if it is the electricity tariff that you are having, it should not be consuming so much units to those consumers that you are supplying the electricity to. So a good tariff should make a profitable profit, a reasonable profit. So you should not charge the customers so much on this electricity tariff. So that is a characteristic of a good tariff. Let's go to the types of tariffs. We have different types of tariffs, and the first one is we have a simple tariff. The other one is we have a flat rate tariff. We have a block rate tariff. We have a two-part tariff. Then we have the power factor tariff. So let's begin with the first one, which is the simple tariff. A simple tariff is where there is a fixed rate It is where there is a fixed rate per unit consumed. Let's say, for example, you have an energy meter into your house. If in this energy meter of yours per day you are used in consuming 10 units per day, and let's say, for example, after a week you discover that these units, it's like they are multiplying by 100, so that in this particular meter you are used to 10 units per day. Then you discover that it's like you are using 50 units per day. You'll discover that there is a certain problem with this particular tariff. A good tariff should be a simple tariff, like we said. So simple tariff, it is the fixed rate per unit consumption in a particular tariff. So that is what it means with, by a simple tariff. The other type of a tariff is a flat rate tariff, and a flat rate tariff is a flat rate tariff. It means when different types of consumers are charged differently, are charged uniformly. Let's say, for example, you are different companies in a particular unit. You discover that it's like you are consuming the same number of units in a particular meter. So that is what it means by a flat rate tariff. The other one is the block rate tariff. When it comes to a block rate tariff, it simply means that, for example, you agree with that particular tariff, you should be charged like, if you arrive at 50 units, you agree on a certain kind of a charge in this particular 50 units. Then the rest, you should be charged at a reduced rate. So you identify these particular units that you have been consuming. If, for instance, let's say, for example, after a week, you discover that you have consumed something like 100, and you agreed you should be charged per block. Let's say, for example, let's get another example. You'll be consumed once you arrive at 70 units. There is a certain agreement that you meant on these 70 units. The rest, if you subtract 100 minus 70, you should be charged these 30 units at a reduced rate. That is what we mean by a block rate tariff. The other type of a tariff is the two-part tariff. In the two-part tariff, it is the case whereby the rate of electrical energy is charged on the basis of maximum demand and the units consumed. The last one is the power factor tariff. The power factor tariff. So the other one is a power tariff, and a power tariff is subdivided into three. We have the fixed charge, we have the semi-fixed charge, we also have the running charge. So in short, it can also be called the three-part tariff. So it is when the total charge to be made from the consumer is split into three. We are also going to check on this fixed charge, the semi-fixed charge, and the running charge. So in an examination, you can be told to describe the different types of tariffs we have. So you should be able to state the simple tariff and describe it, the flat rate tariff and also describe it, the block rate tariff, also describe it, 2-part and the 3-part tariff. Again, we have talked of the desirable characteristics of a good tariff. So you should be able to describe all those desirable characteristics of a tariff. Again, you should be also able to define what a tariff is. So for now, we are going to stop there. Students, get to copy those notes and let's meet in our next lesson. Again, I will also provide some examples attached over there. So what you do, just attempt them like I've given them in those notes in the online learning platform. Then we'll get to solve them as we proceed. They are very simple calculations. Get to handle the calculations. So thank you so much. Let's meet in our next lesson.